Okay, hello everyone and good afternoon. We have 3 schools that will be presenting today. We also have Dee Dee from the Program Management Office that we will ask to share a few words from the program office for us. And for each one of our presenters, we'll ask you to present in the order that we have. If you'll take about 10 minutes and talk about your schools, and that'll give us time then to discuss. Gretchen will come on. She'll talk about, after the presentation, she'll come on and talk about our June presenters, and then a program that of faculty training that University of Colorado and others are providing us this summer. And then Yair will come back and he will put us in the breakout groups for more in-depth discussion. And I know we all find those breakouts incredibly valuable because you can ask your specific questions at that time and really get the content of information or make additional contacts with each one of the schools. So thank you all for being here and especially for our presenters today. Okay, so Henry, whenever you are ready to
Actually, let's have Dee Dee.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dee Dee. I said Dee Dee and then I forgot. Dee Dee, your turn. Thank you.
Hello, thank you everyone for being here today. I have 3 announcements before you guys get into the agenda. So the first announcement is we're getting ready for designation ceremonies, and the first one's going to be at the NICE ceremony the first week of June. So the designation ceremony is going to be on the 7th, and we received, everyone who's going to be designated, we received your preference on which ceremony you want to be designated at. So we did send an email to the 44 schools who are going to be designated at NICE. So just if you didn't receive an email, you're probably going to get NICE. But we try to give everyone their first choice. So just letting you know to check your email, see if you got that you were picked to go to be designated at NICE. And there were going to be 2 other ceremonies, but it seems like not many people picked their ceremony, the conference in August. I think it was CAEs was going to be in August. So we'll probably just do another designation at ELF, or I think it's called NCEC, in September. So the rest of the designations, the rest of the institutions that are going to be designated will probably be designated in September at NCEC. All right, that was the first announcement. Second announcement, we sent out an email to anyone who is interested in being a CAER designated school. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and fill out the checklist to be a CAER designated school. There was a big gap. I think it was a few-year gap between the last time we designated a CAER school, but we believe the tool is working now. And so we're getting started with people filling out the applications for CAER. So if you're interested, go ahead and go to the website and look for the checklist for CAER and go ahead and fill it out. We're going to start assigning cycles starting with cycle 15. And cycle 15 starts July 15th. Okay, so that was my second announcement. Third announcement. So we still have schools that have not filled out their annual report. And so we're past the 30-day warning period. So we have to go to the next measure of alerting your principals. So there's still about 30 schools who have not filled out their annual report. If you happen to be on the call and you know you haven't filled out your annual report, go ahead and do that because Lynn, who's head of the PMO office, is getting ready to notify principals. So those were my 3 announcements. Thank you.
Hey, Dee Dee, thank you very much. Okay, now, Henry, if you would like to share your screen, that would be great.
We get the right one? Nope.
Yes, I think
Yes,
that
we
looks
can.
like it. That looks like it. And we can hear you.
No, it's the wrong screen. There's another screen. Let me get the right one. Okay, I guess I'm doing the right one.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome. I work at the University of Maine at Augusta. We've been a CAE since 2015, redesignation coming up again next year. Just a little bit about, nothing wants to work much here. Basically, we have a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. We work towards a lot and across many different disciplines, across the workforce framework. And our main focus of what we do here, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on the slides, is where we use sort of what our expertise is. We have a cyber bit simulation, cyber range, along with many other environments, virtual environments that we use to train our students with hands-on software, to include a lot of custom forensics environments as well. So what's going to be our next one? We've actually added an associate's degree in cyber. We also added a master's degree in cyber several years ago. We've graduated our first 2 classes in our master's degree, and making lots of progress in that. You see our courses we have here. So it's, just sort of main thing, more focused on the sort of on the managerial side a little bit, not highly into the technical side. We're working to diverse the masters a little bit more to move into a more technical aspect as we go forward.
Hey, Henry, we're still seeing your first slide. We didn't see your courses.
Oh, you didn't see the courses?
Slides are not advanced. Here you go. Now they are.
There we go.
Okay, so
There's your
okay, here's the master ones. This is what I've been talking about. So like I say, we're looking to diversify our masters a little bit, more options as we get rolled up a little bit more. We just also introduced an accelerated master's study for our undergrad in our bachelor's degree. So a lot of our students are continuing from the bachelor's into the master's. With our accelerated, they'll be able to take about 5 courses while in undergrad. That will count both ways. So that's a big selling point we have with our masters. Talk about research, and this is where it's probably spend a lot of our time. With our cyber range, we have the ability not only to have a network that came with that cyber range, we also have the ability to model another network from somewhere else. So we can take any business, model their network into our environment, and also custom create scenarios as well. So we're using this sort of as a workforce development concept, but also as a way to look at a lot of municipalities. So we started this last year. The goal here is it's all student research. The whole project is run by the students. The research is done by the students. And we have several municipalities we're working with, modeling their networks. We've encountered a lot of problems along with this year, realizing that many municipalities have no clue what their network looks like, believe that or not. So the students have been working directly with municipalities, several of them, working with utility districts, as well as some industries within the state. And the whole thing here is to bring their network into our cyber range, customize attacks that they may experience, and to run those attacks to train not only their IT forces or their cyber security teams, but also their entire municipality, because sometimes these municipalities, the county or the city clerk is also the IT director and the security manager, as well as everything else. So I say just a little bit about our school specialties. It's sort of our bachelor's degree has sort of focus areas. We just went through a major revision of our degree this year, updating everything, content and courses. Cyber forensics is one of our most popular options. One of our faculty members has over 20 years doing forensics at the Maine State Police Computer Crimes Lab, and she has a lot of expertise and background to all that. Cyber operations is our other next area, focusing on a lot we have because we have a lot to do with the cyber range, and that's incorporated into almost all of our courses. Information assurance and security analyst are the other two main ones. Secure application development, we started this, lost a professor, getting a new one back this year, so we'll be looking to bring this back up in with coordination with our CIS program as well. So grants, and these grants are all tied to our research project we're working on. We got a grant from the Maine Emergency Management. It's a state Homeland Security grant, and this is to look what we talk about in our research. We wanted to go out to municipalities, help them with assessments, working with CISA and everyone else to see where they stand for preparedness. How will they handle any incidents if they have them? So the Maine Emergency Management gave us some funds, as well as the University of Maine System Small Campus gave us funds for doing some of the sort of the same thing as well, just different participants at each one. We also received a FY24 Department of Labor Employment and Training grant for, once again, translating a lot of what we're doing now into workforce development. Because we find that lots of times we have a lot of people up here that are mid-career changing, and they don't have time to go to get a 4-year degree full-time. So they want to see whatever we can develop to provide them for training to get out into the workforce and then continue their education going forward. So other CAEs we work with or help support, Southern Maine Community College in South Portland, Maine. We work a lot with them. We also have this interesting articulation agreement with Valencia College in Orlando, Florida, which also have 2 or 3 of their faculty members that are adjuncts for us, and we share a lot of courses back and forth. At least there are students up there. We're just finishing an articulation with them to go be a 2+2+1. So they'll come here, finish their bachelor's, and go straight into the master's and finish that within 1 year. And what are some of the challenges we have and gaps? It's called grants. We have a hard time getting grants because our entire cyber department, or the most part of it, is here on the call. Myself and Michelle Weymouth. We have no grant writing resources at the university because we're small. And applying for grants sometimes is difficult because we do not meet a lot of that diversity requirement. We're up here in Maine, and the biggest diversity I have comes from my transfer students from Valencia and a few other places across the thing. So that sort of puts us down a little bit when it comes into that aspect there as well. So our presentations, and this goes back to, once again, the research. When we did that research project, and I told the students that they were going to do the presenting, not me. So the students presented what we found out last summer at the Maine Emergency Management Annual Partners Conference in 2022. It was the first time any of our students had presented at a conference. And it was quite interesting to watch their growth as they went through the several presentations that they did. We also presented at the CISA Region 1 all hands meeting in it was 2022. I think it was on November. And we also presented at our the Maine chapter of Fulbright Association and the Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs Global Cybersecurity Forum also in 2022. Once again, all these presentations was done by the students. So I had a brief introduction, much like we're doing on this call here, and I turned it over to the students to present their research, what we've done, and where we're going. That research is continuing, ongoing this year, and we have another 2 years on that. The other thing I like to highlight is our early college outreach. We worked to build a very good collaborative with a lot of our high school technical centers throughout the state, as well as going into the high schools to teach cybersecurity and computer science courses to get that sort of flow coming in from the high schools all the way up through our bachelor's degree and up into our master's. So here we list 3 of our technical centers, and this spring we started introducing them to our cyber range. We have one of our students as operators of the cyber range. She works with all the schools and train them how to use the cyber range, how to use the simulations, and our goal here is maybe by next spring to have a competition, pit the schools against each other and see how well they do red versus blue. And that's the end. Hope I stayed within my 10 minutes.
Okay, I think you did great with that. We are just making sure that William Jones or someone from Middle Georgia U is not on the call to present. Okay, looks like we're going to move on to J. Todd McDonald. Whenever you're ready.
All right, how's everybody doing today?
We're doing great, thank you.
Great. All righty, so I am with the University of South Alabama. Our actually primary point of contact for the CAE is Angela Picard. She's chair of our ITS department here. And I'll tell you a little bit about what we have going on here at South today. We've been a CAE since 2011. And ever since then, I would say around that time, we started having a major push towards integrating cyber and cybersecurity into all different aspects of our school here. So our program of study that we have validated is a BS in information technology, which has a network track that has all of the NICE curriculum elements as part of it. That's housed in our Department of Information Systems Technology. There's a link to that. It is more focused on protect and defend, operate and maintain in terms of what the units cover. And like I say, in terms of the subject matter expertise of the faculty that's kind of affiliated with the CAE and the research, we do a lot of things in hardware, software assurance and protection, digital forensics, network security, anomaly detection, and different aspects of industrial control, CPS, SCADA type security. So I'll talk about that on the next slide as well. So that's our current program. So a little bit about South Alabama. We're about 15,000 students. So we're an R2, Carnegie R2 university that's navigating the process for how to become an R1 right now. So I sit on one of those committees on determining how we're going to get there. The School of Computing, which we're part of, has about 600 students. We actually saw an increase in enrollment over the last year when a lot of units had downturns. So that's been a pretty steady trend over the last 10 years for us, continues to grow. So we have several different ABET accredited bachelor's degrees, so computer science, information technology, information systems. So again, with the school computing, all of these are housed all in one unit. They're not spread out typically like they are maybe across engineering, arts and science, or business schools. We also offer health informatics bachelor's as well. So in terms of the master's program, we just got through kind of splitting these out. We had a consolidated one that supported kind of computer science, information systems both. So now we have independent degrees going forward for those. And then we just introduced a master's in cybersecurity. It's newish in the sense that a lot of the classes in the degree were already part of our existing master's program under the IS track. So we broke those out, added several new ones to kind of round out the curriculum in cybersecurity. We've had a PhD now for probably 6 or 7 years. It's multidisciplinary. It's in computing. So the research in that varies from anything from theoretical computer science, maybe even more engineering oriented, to more business IS oriented kind of topics. And then we have introduced several certificates over the years. We have one in artificial intelligence, one for cybersecurity. These are at the bachelor's and the master's level as well. We also do have a 5-year track for bachelor students that want to pursue a master's students. And then one of the more recent certificates we've introduced is something in the area of process technology. So if y'all aren't familiar with that, we have a preponderance of industry in the area that's related to the chemical industry. And so we have an active industry partnership board that helps guide the school and the research center here that I'm the director of. And so it was kind of in response to them that we came up with a certificate program to kind of meet their needs. And it's kind of part of an overall workforce development program that we have. And of course, if you didn't know this, Mobile, Alabama, we are the home of Mardi Gras, not New Orleans. Don't want to upset anybody from Louisiana, but that is where Mardi Gras started. We actually have holidays for it as part of the school calendar every year, which is a little unusual. Plenty of crawfish and good seafood, and of course, we're not very far from beaches. So if any of you would like to leave any colder climates up north, we'd be glad to talk with you about how to get down here. So our next program of study, we'll probably submit our master's in cybersecurity as an additional program of study. And we will be probably seeking our CAER designation this year. We're about at the point where we have the background that we need and the production we need to probably submit an application for that. So I'll probably be participating in that later this summer. So in terms of research projects, research interests, we have, I would say, a strong faculty presence in a couple different major areas, digital forensics being one of them. I would say, like I say, in terms of hardware, software, we're kind of unique in the fact that we have a lot of faculty that have more of a computer engineering background, even though we're not part of a college of engineering. We do share a building with them here. Offers a lot of collaboration opportunities, but we actually, for example, have a riskier side channel analyzer in one of our labs. It's a very unique piece of equipment, helps in research with protecting cryptographic key material in hardware and things like that. It's kind of part of the assurance. So we do a lot of work with how to protect hardware and software, whether it's from vulnerabilities or reverse engineering or things like that, and then attestation. I would say our other big strong area is machine learning AI. We're doing all manner of things with that. Slowly building a small drone fleet to do autonomous vehicle research in terms of behaviors. Like I say, we have a interest in all of the SCADA, ICS, cyber physical systems, Internet of Things security that's growing. Have a lot of professors also interested in big data and cloud. Cybersecurity in general, I think, is an overarching theme, and then informatics as well tends to be where we do a lot of our master's and PhD research. So in terms of grants that we're working on currently, and maybe things we might want to collaborate with others on. So we have an active Cyber Scholarship for Service program since 2010. That right now extends through 27. Our CAE will have redesignation in 2027 as well. So it kind of runs concurrently alongside that right now. So pretty much students that come through our undergrad program IT in the program of study are ideal targets for the scholarship for service program. But most of our students are actually masters or PhD. So we try to get students to stay the 3 years. We pay for their senior year and then their masters. And then we've had a few that have actually been able to get through the PhD program through scholarship for service as well. And that's been a very successful program so far. I think we're around somewhere in the 50 to 60 range of graduates we've placed since the program began. We're just finishing up this year being part of Industry University Collaboration, Collaborative Research Center. It's called CARFS. So this was a forensics focus center. We came alongside to become one of the partners in that. The host sites for that. We brought a digital forensics perspective to it. And it was great sitting in on meetings where most of the people were talking about blood spatter and bullets and things like that. So we brought a distinct different aspect of that, but we are finishing up our involvement with that this year. We're also NSF Insure Site, if you're familiar with that program. We've hosted a few projects here in the last couple of years. We took a break or so with the faculty leaving, and we're getting back into that probably for this next cycle. In terms of collaboration we might want to do with others, we're looking right now at doing submissions, for example, for SATC that are related to cybersecurity education, either through an eager or their normal EDU type submissions. We'd be interested in that. We're doing several BAAs right now with different DoD type responses. So the research labs, some of the other organizations that are in the cyber area. We have interest also in maybe developing an AI Center of Excellence here that might have some partnership collaboration opportunities. And then, like I said, because of the forensics focus, we've been investigating ways to partner with the Department of Justice for different kind of aspects of things that we have strengths in. So in terms of partnership we do with other CAEs, so we've done some grant, student, all kind of collaboration with the University of Nebraska, Omaha. It came about basically because, again, it's people you know. And so we've done different things in our programs there in terms of faculty visits, student visits, trying to get cyber clubs working together, things like that. We had a joint grant with them. We kind of keep in routine contact with the University of Alabama up in Huntsville. We have a lot of common interest in the state, and they're doing some similar things with us in the DoD sphere as well. University of West Florida is just across the border from us, not too far away. We've visited there to help out with some of their schools for the Southeast region for education, and we keep in contact with them pretty well. Mississippi State actually helped us start our scholarship for service program years ago by offering us some of their slots. So that's actually how we got our SFS program going. And of course, we're always looking for new partners. Like I say, in terms of things we could use help with, like everybody else, we're always looking for grant collaboration opportunity. We would love to have some faculty. We do have some openings. I'll talk about. I would say probably in the next year, we will have a lot of advertisements for postdocs and research scientists. So if you have graduating PhD students, these will probably be highly specialized type positions. I'd say probably more in the hardware area. So anybody doing work more in the hardware security area, this might be of interest to some of your graduating PhD students. So I expect those to roll out in the fall in terms of the or early late summer in terms of job announcements. Like I say, we are hiring. We have an open tenure track, open rank endowed professor slot in cybersecurity. That's going to be, again, very heavily involved in the Master's Cybersecurity program. We also have an instructor position in computer science that is open, and we will probably be favoring somebody that has cybersecurity background and skills. We offer a monthly CFIT Cybersecurity Colloquium. This is during the school year. We've had a lot of fairly high-level people in different agencies that are government, industry, come through and give talks. We had Gary McGraw come through and give a talk. Staff, I think, has been here. We typically will invite CEOs, CIOs, CISOs, those level of people to come give talks about the state of cybersecurity and the future of research and things like that in the area. So again, if you might be interested with sharing expertise, let me know, and I'd be glad to get you on our schedule for the fall or next spring. We do a lot of things with workforce development. Like I say, we have a strong industry partner program and advisory board that guides us. This opens a lot of opportunities, obviously, for internships for students within the school. They also help us partner with our senior capstone project. So all of our graduates have to do this. So basically, we get ideas or sponsors for the projects from our industry partners. And they come from, we've had some from NSA, a lot of DoD partners have been involved, and then industry themselves that are willing to kind of guide, like I say, a senior project team through something they want to prototype or maybe test out. We also have an active K-12 partner school program. So we have something called hands-on lab learning activities where we bring students onto campus. We probably had over about 11,300 students come through Shelby Hall where we're housed since 2015. They'll come in 30 to 60 group cohorts at a time. We offer around 40 to 50 different hands-on learning lab activity topics that last for about an hour. They're all kind of STEM cyber related. We also offer a lot of summer camps. We were a former, we've done NSA Gen Cyber student camps before, and now we have industry partners that help us put 3 to 4 summer camps on a year. Our managed internship program is kind of, like I say, one of our more prominent workforce development ideas where we're basically offering an outsourced resource to companies. Typically 5 students and one of our faculty instructors serves as a technical manager for a project for a year-long period. And like I say, for projects that they typically can't get to, it's a much cheaper alternative, and the students get great experience from that. I'm also the sponsor for our Day Zero Cybersecurity Club. So this has been going for about 7 or 8 years now. We typically have been able to make it to the regional cyber defense competition here in the Southeast for the last couple of years. This year, I think we placed first in a couple of the categories, not overall, but in like defense and things like that at Kennesaw. And I think I hear the Southeast region might be looking for a new place where that one's going to be held going forward. So I would say this year we were the most active. We fielded teams for the DOE Cyber Force, for the Collegiate Penetration Testing Competition, CAEs Cyber Games, Conquer the Hill, and we also sent a team to Cyber 912, which is more of an admin or kind of policy-based competition. And like I said, I mentioned our PTech program. That's definitely workforce development. All those graduates are going directly into industry because of the sponsorship of the program. And then I'd probably say that we do have a lot of DoD collaboration going currently. Some of this is through educational partnership agreements. Others have been through actual contract work that's been led our way. And some of that has been because of our involvement with some of the DoD consortiums. So this is like aviation and missile technology, national armaments and things along those lines. So Huntsville is about 5 hours away. That's where a lot of that focus is, up with the Army and Redstone. But I've gotten used to driving up there a lot in the last year. So that's all I have.
Okay, great, Todd. Very interesting, important items that you and your team are working on. Just one more call out to make sure that we do not have anyone on to present for Middle Georgia State University. Okay, yeah, we'll remove that breakout group. Thank you. And Gretchen, turning it over to you, my dear.
Great, thank you. And I apologize about that. I think we'll roll them back in at a later time. So I just wanted to let everybody know, one, thank you so much. I always learn so much when we have these conversations. But next month, we've had a change in our schedule and we do have an opening. If anyone's interested in doing that, please email me or chat me in this conference call and let me know, and we can get you added in. We are happy to move you up if that works for you as well. And my email is gbliss@uccs.edu. So next month we will have the University of Central Florida and Lehigh Carbon Community College. So they have confirmed, and we're excited to hear more about them. The next thing I want to let you know, I know last month we talked about all of these faculty development grants that we have, and thank you all for your participation in signing up. The ones that we have room left in are the University of Western Florida with Sunny down there, our UCCS one for our, we call it cyber and space, but on here it is our safety critical systems. We have a few slots left in that one. And then we have University of Alabama Huntsville is actually going to do their data privacy, one of the two of them, here at UCCS. And so there are some slots left there or at Huntsville. And then our Moraine Valley Community College, actually, as you all know, John Sands is one of the big brains on a lot of this, getting cyber ops in their hands. And so we are doing an in-person session at Moraine Valley as well as at UCCS. So please check those out if you haven't already signed up for one, and we would love to have you come join us for those. I think I'm going back over to Yair to open up the rooms.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah. Give me.
Oh, and sorry,
Go ahead.
Yair. And remember, there's other faculty development stuff on the CA community website. Our Dakota State partners have courses. I don't know the status of how much room they have left, but please check those out. Those are on the CA community website, and you can register directly from there.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. And we're going to be wrapping up the recording. So thank you, everyone, and stay on. We will break into the breakout rooms.